All right, friend, I want to talk just a little bit more about the waiver here. Last session, we were at macpac.gov. This talks about the different waiver opportunities and availabilities, what it is, how it's allocated, putting the program into context, right? And eligibility, benefits, financing. This is how much of the therapies and interventions are often paid for. Okay. Every state is different in the US, and of course, every country is different in terms of their availability for funds and resources. But I want to take you here as well because the waiver is part of the Medicaid system in the United States. This is very, very important to go through. Again, I want you to have a backbone and a foundation for understanding where these funding sources come from. And then again, the process you're going to go through to look to at least try to get the ball rolling for qualification so you can get some of these benefits. Medicaid.gov. Who would have ever thought you would be visiting this website anytime soon? I know. Okay, Medicaid.gov talks about home and community-based services, and this is where the waiver that we talked about last time, which is a funding source, really where this is coming from. Okay, so on this website, Medicaid.gov, it's going to talk about home and community-based services and the waiver program basics. Okay, qualifications, states' participations, comparable services, and there are comparable services now. Not everybody is going to be eligible to utilize the waiver. If you're someone here from another country and your documentation is not complete, you are not going to qualify for waivered services. You may qualify for a different program that is specific to the county that you live in. There are county non-waivered service programs. That's actually what they're called, non-waivered services. So depending on whatever situation in life you are in, you may not qualify for the waiver that I talked about in the last section. However, there is a comparable program that can probably help. So you'll find that here. Do you need to qualify? Here's the good news. When my son was really little, the assistance that was offered, the support that was offered for early intervention, and when he was little, it was called IEBT. It's changed now. It's EIBT something or other. It was early intensive behavioral therapy. Okay, that was paid for in part by insurance because a handful of people in one state actually went through litigation with an insurance company to help provide some of the therapies for young children in that therapeutics window from 2 years old to 7. After that, then, there's the pursuit of these other types of waivers. Back then, you could only get as much assistance as your personal income would qualify you for. So I could get services for my son, but if I made, any type of income, I had to pay into the system. Okay. So that happens as well, especially for younger kids, and states vary. Once they become adults, now in many states that changes because the support rate is much lower. Therapeutic rates are much higher. The unit rate payout for a therapist, okay, is much higher. When they become adults, all of that funding for therapies ends and it moves to adult services. The service rate is lower, hence the availability or the need or the requirement for services and supports through the waiver is a little bit lower. So I just want you to know it's going to be very different from childhood age therapeutics to adult. They're going to look different. There's actually more covered for adults these days than there is for children, depending on a myriad of variables. But we want to get you here. We want to get you familiar with this waiver because chances are there's going to be a waiver program for you or a non-waivered community support fund or service that is available to help you get the support and funding you need for therapeutics and basic support.